Hello and welcome. You're watching Markets at Noon. This is Mansi Dave and with me is my colleague Ankur Mishra, and we start the bulletin with a piece of information and announcement that is making the nation proud. Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla is all set to make history with his maiden mission to space. Shukla will launch aboard the Axiom-4 mission to the International Space Station, joining astronauts from the US, Poland and Hungary for a 14-day science expedition. Serving as the mission pilot, Shukla will embark aboard SpaceX Dragon spacecraft launched atop the Falcon 9 rocket. After several delays and technical challenges, the mission, led by veteran astronaut Peggy Whitson, is set to launch later today from Kennedy Space Center. The spacecraft, which travel in zero gravity for over 28 hours before docking with the space station, NASA had earlier pushed the launch from June 22 to 25, making it the 7th postponement.
Right, and history is being written once again, this time not on Earth but much above it. And the countdown started. We can see the visuals on the screen. The historic launch of...
For three nations, a new chapter in space takes flight. Godspeed, AX-4.
Plus 30 seconds into flight with the Axiom-4 crew on board Dragon, headed to the International Space Station. Waiting to hear call-outs from the Falcon 9 engineering team.
Power and telemetry nominal. Stage 1 throttle.
We're throttling down the 9 Merlin engines. We're into the throttle bucket, preparing for max Q.
Latest all-private astronaut mission to the International Space Station. Now this is marking a major step in the commercialization of low Earth orbit. And you can see on screen the emotional moments. Shubhanshu's parents are on screen. They are clapping, applauding the success which has been there for his son. Of course, these are emotional moments. The visuals on screen, finally, it is out of the Earth orbit.
Commander Peggy Whitson call out the first abort mode. Each of these are a specific phase where if for any reason we had an in-flight abort, Dragon would abort to a safe location. So we're going to call out each of those milestones.
It is a proud moment for the nation, and as you can see the live visuals, and yet again, after several delays, India's Shubhanshu Shukla is all set and he is traveling to the International Space Station. Let us take a look at who is Shubhanshu Shukla. He is India's first International Space Station astronaut, born in Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. He underwent astronaut training in Russia, commissioned into IAF in June 2006. The rank he captures is Group Captain, selected by ISRO for Gaganyaan mission. Ankur, it is a treat and a moment of pride right now, what we are witnessing, right?
Yes, it is definitely Rise with India story. A decorated Indian Air Force test pilot, over 2,000 flight hours on fighters like Sukhoi 30, MiG-21, MiG-29, Jaguar. He has flown it all. And as you mentioned, born in Lucknow, 1985. He has earned degrees from India's National Defence Academy, IISc Bangalore. He holds a MTech degree too, and he's trained Russia's Gagarin Cosmonaut Center before joining ISRO's Gaganyaan astronaut. Now, one of the trivia which is coming is his nickname is Shucks.
Oh.
He rose to group captain in March 2024. Yes, that's the name.
That's quite interesting. Shukla, who is the mission pilot, will be India's second astronaut going into space 4 decades after Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma made history in 1984. The 39-year-old fighter pilot was chosen by ISRO as the prime astronaut for the historic flight.
And what he'll do in the space? Part of 60 scientific experiments from 31 countries, including Indian-centric studies, growing fang streak and moong dal, investigating muscle atrophy, So there are multiple tests including education, medical science, microbial adaptation. He'll also bring mango, nectar, carrot and moong dal halwa, Indian seeds, and even halwa and a toy. That is what the information we have got. All these he's carrying to share abroad ISS. But one of the personal touch, for his final tied to Launchpad, he chose Vande Mataram from Bollywood film Fighter.
And like we said, led by Commander Peggy Whitson, the space crew is now traveling to the orbiting laboratory on board a new SpaceX Dragon spacecraft. With Shubhanshu Shukla as mission pilot, are other astronauts as well. And as we clearly see, right now it is a mission which is in operation. Axiom-4 mission L, the statement added as we clearly see. We have our colleague Nivedana with more details on this. Nivedana, over to you.
Well, you know, as we're looking at in the visual as well, this is a historic moment in itself, given the fact that what we're looking at over here with the mission being led by Axiom Space, this is, of course, in collaboration with NASA and SpaceX. More importantly, given how many challenges that it did see previously, which is why now that particular moment that is playing out on our visuals at the moment, more importantly, what a historic milestone for India as well, given what we're looking at with Shubhanshu Shukla managing to do. I heard what Ankur also had to say, given what kind of experiments will be played out, and he's absolutely right, given the moong dal aspect as well. But let's also tell you how this is a next generation Dragon capsule, which is making its first flight with some really impressive upgrades that we'll be looking at. While we put that into perspective for our viewers on ET now, this is India's first astronaut to International Space Station. In fact, talking about the man of the moment, Shubhanshu Shukla, who clearly is the biggest headline as well since he's aboard. He's, of course, set to become the first Indian to reach the International Space Station, marking a proud and unprecedented moment for all of us over here. And more importantly, his travel to space clearly marks India's return to human space flight. This is 41 years after what we saw Rakesh Sharma do as well. But the objective of the Axiom-4 mission is to conduct 60 experiments aboard, is what we're given to understand. These experiments will also include muscle behavior, microalgae in zero gravity to aid future space research. So in the bigger scheme of things, that's what the mission is looking like. Why these 60 experiments will be conducted by different astronauts who are set on this big mission, while we continue to look at those visuals play out on our screens at the moment, where all of us are getting to, of course, witness history in itself. Given the aspect that the docking time will also be 28 hours. But more importantly, as far as coming back to what the launch of the mission marks, this is a rare milestone, given the fact that these are astronauts not just from India, like we spoke about Shubhanshu Shukla. We're also looking at astronauts from Poland, Hungary, each embarking, in fact, on their first ever mission to the International Space Station. Over to you, while we, of course, keep everybody ahead as to what is unfolding right here.
Nivedana, we were all happy about this, and adding you to this created more charm, and thank you so much for all those information. And of course, after so many delays, as we clearly see a historic moment right now, which is making us all proud. Thank you so much, Nivedana. On this